Hello and welcome back to the Shamanic Womb Oracle podcast. If you are listening or perhaps you're watching on YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon and I am a shamanic practitioner. I specialize in soul healing and womb healing. And this is a space where I chat about things that I want to share. I answer questions, I share stories. And today I am going to talk about soul remembrance. So I am calling this summer the summer of soul remembrance. And I want to invite you to come on this journey of soul remembrance with me. So I am going to share with you an offering that I am just now sharing. This is a brand new offering. It is launching right now as you're listening to this. And I want to invite you to come along with me because this offering is all about soul remembrance. And this is the time to tap into soul remembrance. This offering has been brewing in my subconscious, in my journey spaces for a couple of months. And let's talk about what it is. And let's talk about why this is important. Even if you are not in a place where you're ready for some spiritual mentorship and healing, still stick around and listen because there's some things here that you might learn. And that might kind of turn on your own, like, curiosity. So soul remembrance. This offering is specifically about working with the imprints of your past lifetimes in Atlantis, Lemuria, Avalon, and ancient Egypt. Whew. It's a big energy in the field as I say those names. So I'm going to say them again. I want you to feel into them. Past lifetimes, past connections with Atlantis, with Lemuria, with Avalon, and with ancient Egypt. There are, of course, many ancient civilizations that have really powerful spiritual connections and past lifetimes for many of us. I am focusing on these four because I have years of experience working with these four civilizations, specifically for myself and for my clients. And these four have been really strong in the field lately. I'd say Atlantis, especially Atlantis, has just been like coming in so strong the last couple of months. And it's really interesting because I have actually noticed a few people talking about Atlantis, like in the spaces that I follow online with spiritual content, as it were. And it was really interesting. Is every time I've noticed, I've been like, that's so interesting because this has been in my consciousness really strongly for a while as well. So soul remembrance is about connecting into the imprints of your lifetimes in one or all four of those ancient civilizations. And you don't have to know, you may not know as I say this, oh yeah, I've definitely had a past lifetime in Atlantis, for example. You don't have to have a knowing for sure. It's a feeling. When I first connected in with, I'm just going to talk about Atlantis for a moment. Okay, when I first connected into Atlantis, I was a couple years into my deep spiritual awakening, and I was drawn to Atlantis, and I was like, is this real? That was my first feeling. I was like, is this real? It's like, this is really interesting. I've been drawn to Atlantis before. I remember as a kid, I thought, the legends of Atlantis were like really interesting. But then being drawn to it in a spiritual sense, I was like, is this real? Or are people just making this up? And I like really dove deep into what I could find about Atlantis out there. There was a lot of it I found where I was like, I don't really super resonate with that. There's some of it where I was like, I do resonate with this. And Lemuria, because they're so interconnected. Lemuria came a little bit before Atlantis, and then they overlapped, and Lemuria kind of disappeared before Atlantis did. But there's definitely an overlap with Lemuria and Atlantis. And so as I was diving into the spiritual, like memories of Atlantis, I also found myself diving into the memories of Lemuria, and I actually read quite a bit about Lemuria as well. There's a lot of resources out there about Lemuria. Again, a lot of it I was like, oh, I don't know. Some of this is like sparking memories. Some of this is feeling a little like some dissonance. And my whole point in explaining this is that I was like, okay, I need to know more. There's something here. This is not just made up. I can feel there's a resonance in my soul. This is around the same time that I was diving deeper into Atlantis Lemuria, was when I was being when I was channeling or being shared from my guides. They were sharing with me the connection into the 23rd dimensional field of soul remembrance, or Akasha. And so I was also like channeling a lot of past life memories. I did some past life regression work with a past life regressionist, and like Atlantis especially was coming through so strongly. And around this time, I found my shamanic teacher, and I found her, and I said, I know, like, I need to learn more about my connection with the star memories, and the cosmic memories of humanity. And I also want to understand more about, connecting in with the land and with the elementals, like, the fairies, for example, and the trees and the earth. Like, I want to understand the shamanic understanding of all these things, right? The shamanic imprints of all these things. And so I started my shamanic apprenticeship, and we went through many months of what I refer to, and what my teacher refers to as earth apprenticing, connecting with the earth, learning all of the ancestral passed down earth shamanic related techniques. And then my teacher, it was such a divine connection. I found her. I just, like, spirit told me, Google this way and you will find your teacher. And I found my teacher. And it was so perfect. And that's actually how a lot of people find me now too, is they just randomly find me. Spirit just sends people my way. And that's how my teacher works as well, which is beautiful. When I found her, knowing that I needed somebody to help me understand what was coming through, because it was just coming through so fast and furious. And after many, many, many months of apprenticing with Earth, she started teaching me star shamanic techniques, and how to connect into the memories of the stars, and how to connect into the memories of ancient Earth civilizations, how to connect into the memories of places like Atlantis and Lemuria and Avalon and ancient Egypt, and so on and so forth, many, many places. How to connect into the star memories, and how to connect into the living, breathing imprints of these societies that still exist in the stars, that still exist outside of our 3D world, outside of our 3D reality. And this was like, oh my God, this was such a revelation. I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been tapping into for years. And now I'm understanding, like, now I'm actually getting to really, from a grounded place, because I've gotten through this training, and I am not being swayed by my ego and all this stuff, like what happens at the beginning often of a spiritual journey. Before we've done the ego work, I was like, oh my God, I'm understanding what was coming through, what's been coming through for all these years. And now I can actually, like, tap into these living, breathing star memories, cosmic imprints of these ancient civilizations and past lifetimes for myself, and how it connects into the whole world, and how it connects into the history of humanity. And I can understand it and work with it, and tap into the gifts that I learned in these lifetimes, right? These were, for me, my lifetimes in these past civilizations were my most prominent human lifetimes. I have not lived many human lifetimes. I'm not somebody who has a past life regression and has had lots and lots of human lifetimes. I've spent much more of my soul growth, so much more of my soul journey up in the stars, and in different dimensions or different planets, different realities. That's where most of my memory comes from. And so understanding how to connect in with these imprints and these civilizations and these star memories, and star realities, because we can connect in, like I said, to living, breathing energies of these civilizations with these techniques that I was taught, really opened up so much for me. And at first, it opened up so much healing for me. So many places where in shamanic terms, we talk about like soul loss, like we can leave aspects of ourself, aspects of our soul energy or power in different realities, in past lifetimes, in traumatic experiences in this lifetime. So soul retrieval is a big, like, passed down shamanic healing modality. So first and foremost, there were soul pieces. There was soul loss to what's, oh my God, I can't find my word. There was soul loss to clear and heal and integrate. Sometimes I start talking about this because there's just so much to share that my brain goes blah 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 blah, and then I like forget my train of thought because there's so many things I want to say. So first there was soul loss to heal and integrate, and then there were so many gifts and lessons to uncover and understand, and literally probably 80% of my work today comes from the work that I have remembered from connecting into my soul remembrance with these ancient civilizations. For example, I teach the shamanic womb alchemy rites. I have a 12-month shamanic womb alchemy school, where you come and you receive 13 rites of womb alchemy. And we meet every week and we work with the rites in different ways. And these womb rites are designed to open up your womb energy, to connect you into the cosmic womb, to connect you into your own womb's like power and creativity, and to connect you into like this beautiful womb healing work that we do. And when our womb is online, so much, like, we are online as women, our womb is the source of creation, right? It's such a gift to have a womb. And so many women, there's like so many women that are waking up to it's a gift to have a womb, but there's also so many women on earth that are like, get my womb out of my body, right? Like, I want a hysterectomy, I want to take birth control and numb down my womb. Like, you know, we have these two divides, and it breaks my heart that there are women who are like, you know, let me get rid of my womb, like I want a hysterectomy. Like, no, your womb is literally the most powerful organ in your body, and it's also where we hold so much stuff. So when we're having womb issues, when we're having womb dis-ease, there are energetic components to that. Like, pretty much in my experience, on it as an energetic practitioner, there's always energetic components going on with our womb, because it is not just a physical organ, it is also a wildly cosmic, energetic portal in our body, right? So I work with the energetics of the womb rites. That is a technology, that is an architecture that I have worked with in past lifetimes, in ancient Avalon, and that ancient civilization, and through many, many months, really. And I've worked with Avalon for years. At a certain point, after working with ancient Avalon for however long it was, I can't remember off the top of my head, the womb rites were revealed to me, or re-given to me. I remembered them. They are an architecture I've worked with many, many times, many lifetimes. At least a couple of lifetimes on Earth. Like I said earlier, I haven't necessarily spent a lot of time on Earth, but there is a cosmic aspect, you know, to that work as well. It's not just like Earth-based. We're connecting in with cosmic womb. We're connecting in with the universe and universal reality, right? So anyway, womb rites come from my work remembering and reconnecting into these ancient civilizations. I am trained in a modality called biomagnetism. Biomagnetism is a very 3D Earth-based modality. It uses high strength magnets got them right next to me, uses high strength magnets. You put them on the body in different places using the different poles of the magnet, and it creates the perfect conditions for the body to activate the immune system, to clear out pathogens, and to bring balanced pH back to the body, which is a sign of health. I use the magnets in that very 3D sense. I also have my own energetic form of biomagnetism now that I call shamanic biomagnetism. And I connect in and create really beautiful, powerful healing protocols, healing regimens with the magnets, where I also bring in energy healing that I have learned how to do based on my work in connecting into the memories and the energy and the pure teachings of like pure loving teachings from Atlantis. And I say that because Atlantis definitely has some darkness in it. There's a lot of ego in Atlantis. There's a lot of pain in Atlantis. There are definitely teachings that are not pure from Atlantis. And I had to learn how to kind of sift through the ego teachings or the quote unquote impure teachings from Atlantis to figure out how to connect into the remembrance of the true loving teachings that I want to bring forward to support humanity at this time, right? Those are two examples of really beautiful, powerful healing modalities that I've had great success with, that every one of my clients who I've shared them with have loved, that come from connecting into my soul remembrance with these ancient civilizations, with the star memories and imprints from these civilizations. So soul remembrance, this offering that I am bringing forward and inviting you to join me and over this summer of soul remembrance, is a 3-month mentorship homecoming offering where we work together and we connect in with what are your past imprints, what are your past remembrances from these civilizations. Maybe for you, it is just a lot of past imprints from Atlantis, and we do 3 months of intense work on Atlantis. Believe me, there's so much going on in Atlantis. That's super possible. Maybe for you, it is Atlantis and Lemuria, or Avalon and ancient Egypt, you know. It might not be all 4 of those civilizations you have a connection to, and it doesn't have to be in order to do this soul remembrance mentorship. Just one is enough. There's so much we can learn from just one of these ancient civilizations. They are so, so powerful. There is a huge amount of remembrance from those lifetimes for those of us who have lifetimes or soul connections to those ancient civilizations and to the medicine and teachings that they share, that they have, that are encoded in the star memories of these civilizations. So we will work together for 3 months to connect in and bring in the remembrance of your own medicine that you've worked on likely for lifetimes, that you are ready to remember in this lifetime. Download, remember those technologies, remember those modalities, so you can bring them forward and offer them to your soul fractal, to your collective, to these souls that you were meant to share your gifts, your healing with, because it is time for us, for those of us who are called to share our gifts, for those of us who are called to share beautiful healing spirit medicine with the world, it is time for us to remember our gifts, not all the other stuff that other people are doing, not all this stuff that's been passed down, that is not necessarily your soul gifts remembrance. We want to find your unique modalities, because your unique soul medicine, that's what you're here for. And I know there's so many people who are feeling this, who are feeling this call to connect into what is my medicine. You know, I can go do another training for somebody else. I can do a training here. I can learn all these different medicines that people want to share. But what's mine? What's mine? And I get that feeling because that is why I went into a shamanic apprenticeship, because I wanted to learn the passed down ancestral medicines. And this is why I teach shamanic apprenticeships as well, when called, when asked to, because there is something huge and beautiful to be said about learning the passed down medicines from the ancestors. Something like shamanism and shamanic practices, the most ancient spiritual modalities we have. I think that's incredible to pass down. But then I also knew that I had my own modalities. Like from the get-go, I tried all these different things. I did all these different trainings with different people before I did an apprenticeship, because I was like, I want to figure out what am I doing? You know, do I need to learn from somebody else? Do I need to learn all these different modalities? And really, for me, no. And I think that's true for a lot of us. No, it's time to learn your own, remember your own medicine, because you spent likely lifetimes refining this beautiful medicine that your soul is ready to remember and share in the world right now. We are at such an important point in the history, in the timeline, and the unfolding of humanity. We are going to continue going through these really important choice points as a collective, where it's like, what paths are we taking as a collective? What timelines do we want to give energy to? What kind of world do we want to create? We're seeing a lot of things like crumbling or likely going to start crumbling. We are at this time where it's like, it is more imperative than ever that we break free of some of the old passed down, not super clear, and by clear I mean like pure, like beautiful source energy. Break free of some of the old passed down murky practices that don't come from source, that don't come from loving ancestry necessarily, and remember what our soul has been working on for lifetimes. And I have spent years doing this with Atlantis, Avalon, Lemuria, and ancient Egypt. Like I said, probably 80% of what I do at this point in my work, in my offerings, in my business, come from my explorations and remembrances and healing work that I've done for myself with my connections to these ancient civilizations. There's so much there for us to learn. It's incredible. It's so incredible. So what this looks like is, for 3 months, I am helping you discover and remember and download your medicine. And that might look like me I'm there to journey for you, to connect in and help connect you in to these ancient civilizations, to help you connect in and download your unique medicine without you having to go through the whole process, the years of a process that I've gone through to learn how to really do this journey work, specifically to connect into the star memories. You don't need to learn how to do exactly what I do. I'm here to share it with you so that we can cut to the chase of what is it that your modalities are, right? What is it that your medicine is? So my job as a guide is to help you get to it faster, right? Because your path is not necessarily to go through all of the paths and the training that I've gone through to connect in with these star memories and these imprints and these ancient civilizations in this specific way, and these shamanic with these shamanic techniques. Your path is most likely to just remember, connect in, remember, reclaim your energy, your power, your soul medicine from your past lifetimes. And along the way, there's also a lot of interference that comes from past lifetimes in these 4 civilizations. So along the way, I will also make sure that interference is cleared for you. If there are vows, oaths, curses, anything like that going on, we're going to clear that stuff. If there are any blocks that are connected into your field from those past lifetimes, we're going to make sure that stuff is cleared. For example, ancient Egypt, my connection in there, one of my big connections in there was to clear, this was soul loss, this was a soul retrieval type work that I did there, was to clear illness imprints from from my lifetimes in ancient Egypt. My Lyme disease journey, which was a huge part of what brought me into my spiritual journey, which I won't go deep into all the discussions about Lyme. You can absolutely find my story other places, and other, like, I've done a podcast about it. It's on my Substack, that kind of thing. But my Lyme disease journey, the energetic root cause was a lifetime in ancient Egypt, a betrayal and a death in ancient Egypt that my soul was still stuck in and reliving over and over and over again, and needed to be retrieved and brought into some healing, and brought into some into a place where we could close the loop of what happened in that lifetime, to close the loop on the illness in my body. Once that was done, this was many years ago. This was quite a few years ago at this point that I did this work. I've never had a flare of any kind of Lyme. Again, it's been 6 years. Yeah, it's been 6 years since I've had any kind of flare with Lyme, and that lifetime in ancient Egypt, that was the root. And that lifetime actually took me a few times to get the whole of that root cleared out, to work with that, to fully get that cleared out. But yeah, that was the root. Huge pattern of interference in my system that needed clearing, needed healing, needed some soul retrieval work. So this 3-month mentorship is also going to be full of any kind of soul retrieval work, any kind of interference clearing that you may need, so that you can truly connect into that soul medicine and share it into the world as best as you can, as you are meant to in this lifetime. And by the time that we are finished with this work, you will have a deeper connection into your soul, into your medicine, and into how you are here to share it into the world. You will have an understanding of how you are meant to continue to learn from your modality, from your medicine, how you are meant to continue deepening into the understanding of how you share it into the world. When you are ready, you share it into the world. You start sharing it with others. You start sharing it with friends or family or clients, or however you are here to serve. We are here to find your soul medicine together, to connect into what has been left behind, what is waiting for you in these imprints from your past lifetimes, and bring them forward to here and now, because the world needs it. We need it. I don't think we have ever been in a time where we need support, really good, beautiful, grounded support, on a spirit level, on a spiritual level, on an energetic level, on a soul level, than we do right now. It's so important. And so if you feel that call, if you know that you are meant to remember, that soul remembrance is strong for you this summer, join me in the summer of soul remembrance. I'm so excited to walk with you through this journey. This has truly changed my life, learning how to download my soul medicine from these past lifetimes, from these ancient civilizations, from my connection to them. There's so much there. Oh my God, there's so much there that has been imperative to my healing and my growth journey, has been imperative to understanding how I am meant to work in this lifetime, and who I'm here to help, and how I am here to be of the greatest service. Because to me, this is a lifetime. For me, for my soul, this is a lifetime of service. This is a lifetime of serving and sharing as much as I absolutely can, of supporting as many people as I can, as many people as Spirit brings to me, and of supporting as many people as possible in their healing journey, in their soul homecoming journey. And that's how I truly think of my work and describe it, is it's homecoming. It's coming home to yourself, coming home to your womb. In this case, for this particular offering, coming home to your soul and your remembrance of who you are on a soul level and what you're here to do on a soul level. So this is the summer of soul remembrance. It's gonna be a powerful summer. A lot can happen in 3 months. And I'm excited to work with you, to walk this path with you. If you want to sign up for Soul Remembrance, if you want to see a little bit more about the details of how this mentorship works, I will have the link for you either in the show notes, podcast-wise, or below the video on YouTube. so that you can learn more, so that you can hear more, so that you can connect in with the frequency of this offering, and step onto the path with me. So thank you for joining me here. Thank you for listening or watching. Let me know if you have any questions. This is Summer Soul Remembrance, and I am bringing this forward, and Spirit has asked me to bring this forward because, like, I know I've said no quite a few times, this work has changed my life. And it has truly allowed me to see what is mine on a spiritual level, on an energetic level, what is mine and what is not mine, what I want to give time and energy to and what I don't want to give time and energy to. It's allowed me to separate myself from the kind of clamor of all this, all the different, modalities and things being talked about or shared or sold in spiritual spaces, mentorship spaces, so on and so forth, that are not true for like what my soul is here to do, who I'm here to be, how I'm here to serve. This work has really helped me understand who I am here to be and how I'm here to walk in this lifetime. And so that is my greatest hope for you as well, as you step into soul remembrance with me. All right. As always, thank you for being with me, and I will see you hopefully inside Soul Remembrance, and I will see you next time as well.